What's going on, y'all? Kicking it with shows back. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I never left. You know, things happen. But today, I have somebody really special for y'all. We're going to go into some things. We're going to figure out what the hell she has going on next because she has a lot to do on her plate. So, without further ado, Miss Danielle Johnson,
Dad.
a.k.a. Hot Sauce. What's up? How you doing?
Facts. Let's start with facts.
Oh,
Hi.
what's going on?
Nothing. I'm so happy to be here on this show.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming. I think this is pretty dope. Thank you.
Nah, definitely. I told you I was watching, when you first announced SparkFM.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Because I was in a process of coming back with Kicking It With Show. Like, not a season 2, but just like, come back to it, whatever.
Starting back, yeah.
Just get back to it, whatever. And you announced that, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, everybody knows Henny Hotwing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But this is a different venture for you, and just for everybody involved in the city, period.
Yeah.
For the platform that you're doing right now. So, but before we get to that, right? Before we get to not the end of the road, but the start of a new era for the city and everything. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, exactly. Not the hot sauce upbringing, the Danielle Johnson, the Danielle Johnson upbringing. Like, what was your childhood like?
My childhood was great. I had a good childhood. Like, I grew up in a 2-family household. My parents owned their home.
Off rent?
Yeah. Well, they. So they, like we have, property.
But wait, y'all, you're an immigrant family though.
Yeah. So meaning, my dad is Trinidadian.
Okay.
And my mother is from Honduras.
Okay.
And they've been together for almost 40 years.
That's what's up.
Teenagers. My dad was a teenager. Yeah.
Oh, that's like old school shit.
1921. My mom is older.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of, cool.
So she's a cougar. She's trapped in it. She trapped him. She got him young. She got him quick. Yeah, let me get him out of here. Hold on.
I see that one.
Yeah,
let me get one of those.
I would need that. Oh, that's crazy.
They have my sister, then they got married, they had me. So it was the 4 of us and a cat all the time.
You have no brothers?
No, it's just me and my sister.
How did your dad handle all of that?
He likes to joke in public and say, I live with 3 women and a cat. That
sounds about right.
Yeah, hey,
that sounds about right.
Except you got a little one, so
man,
you got a little so you at least got one more boy in the house.
My son is a blessing to me, son. Balances it all out. It helps
Imagine
me
if
out.
you just had the girls and it was like, you're always
can't win
outnumbered.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Can't win nothing. Then you gotta bark.
Yeah.
And stop pumping your chest. Look, I'm the man in this situation.
I am the king.
Like, what y'all mean?
I'm pretty sure my dad had a lot of those moments too. What is wrong with y'all?
Y'all are cruel, man. Y'all have no remorse at all. You just bombard us. You act like we remember half the stuff y'all say.
Why can't you guys remember things?
Because we do a whole bunch of other things. So it's just like, look, I provide you a crib. Shut up.
That's all you need. Like, what
like,
do you
chill.
want?
You want me to do all this down the third. Like, I'm doing things.
But we're
right now.
if you're doing it, then you must know how to explain why you're doing it.
I really don't know.
And y'all be like, I don't know.
Yeah, because explaining, now I got to over process what I'm doing and think, am I doing this right? Like, we don't think like that. It's like, all right, I'm doing it. The mess ups will come, whatever, we'll adjust as we go. But if you're like, well, write it down for me. No, I can't write it down for you. I can't do that right now.
It's so aggravating.
Listen, so you growing up in a Honduran and Trinidadian household.
Yeah.
That's Spanish and West Caribbean.
Yes.
How did... Don't worry about
that. What's happening? It's a bomb.
How did that transition for you growing up? Like, having 2 cultures that, kind of go head to head a little bit.
We were on lockdown.
Okay.
We were on lockdown. We were not one of those kids that experienced a lot at an early age. We were pretty much sheltered. Come home right after school. If you act up, one of my friends probably saw you. So now when you get home, you're in trouble. Don't leave this porch.
You serious?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but Your mom's
Spanish and
Honduran?
West
Yeah, but
Indian,
I've never
yeah.
seen like a Spanish person, unless they were like really religious,
Yeah.
really hold their kids that
Well,
tight.
they are.
Okay.
So my mother's Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh shit.
And my dad grew up Catholic, but now he's Seventh-day Adventist. He converted after.
Damn, she got him
Yeah.
all the way
She
like
got-
that. Oh, wow.
You know,
Wow.
that's how us girls have it.
So
you
shout
know?
out to moms, yo.
Yeah, man.
That's a big W.
I haven't been as lucky, clearly.
Well, it's old school. That's different. You know,
Yeah.
we're in a different time frame nowadays. You know.
That's why they did not understand my life now. Like, oh, that sounds cool. I guess so.
It's different.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah.
So 7-Day Adventist. I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, did you?
You know what I'm saying? And
That was pretty tough too.
listen.
Yeah.
I ain't with none of that. That's why I'm spiritual now. I
Yeah.
ain't religious.
Is that a cop-out that we use as, like, the next generation? Because I use that, too. Like, I don't go to church.
Yeah.
I'd send my son to church so
Why?
that he can...
If
Because I
you
need a
don't
break.
go-
And,
okay, definitely. I feel you on that.
And, you know, like, since my family, all of the rest of my family still goes, like, if I'm not going, they're like, okay, fine, you're grown. But at least, you know, give us him.
But why? that's always the thing for me. Is like, if I'm not doing something, I'm not gonna hold my kid away
Yeah.
if they want to do it. But I'm not gonna, if they're, oh, can I bring your kid to the church with me? I'm gonna be like, you gotta ask the kid. Don't ask me because I don't.
Oh,
wanna
but my kid loves it because
it.
he likes to sing and he likes all the
Ah,
songs.
Okay. It's just a good time for him.
It's
right
a
now.
good time,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
like he learns
what
some
church?
things.
What church does he go to?
We
Don't
go
mind
to
me asking.
Berea SDA
I don't know what that
church.
is.
That's on the corner of Humboldt and Seaver. That
Okay.
big church on the corner of Humboldt
Baptist
and Seaver.
or Christian?
Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Yep,
Oh, damn. So, okay, so explain the 7-Day Adventist. Because I have a
So-
couple friends who are, but I'm like, I don't really want to know.
Seventh-day
That's it.
Adventist, like the most easily recognizable thing is that we go to the church on this Saturday, which is known as the Sabbath.
Okay.
The seventh day. Sunset is from sunset Friday to sunset Saturday.
Okay.
So in that time, anything that you are so used to doing on those other days, in this time, it's just, for you to chill, be one with yourself, be one with God,
Okay.
but no TV,
Nothing.
no, going out, no going to the clubs, no none of that.
But you're in church all day.
Huh?
But you're in church
You
all
don't
day?
have to be at church, but if you're home, then you are pretty much, like singing Bible songs and all of your things were done beforehand so that you're
in praise
literally
mode.
chilling.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
chilling.
exactly.
If you're singing and all, that's not
That's
chilling.
not chilling.
That's not chilling.
It
That's a
can
whole
get
lot of
pretty
energy.
tough because
Yeah.
depending on what kind of, household you come from, that can be a very short amount of time or a very long amount of time.
Yeah.
So
Depends how
yeah.
both the parents are.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. It totally depends how long.
Exactly.
Yeah, because for
Yeah.
us, Jehovah's Witnesses, we have like something called we have a. Whoa.
Yeah. Turn off. Yes.
We have something called the assembly,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a convention.
Yeah.
Now assemblies are like maybe 2 days, but it's from like 8 o'clock to 5 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah, for 2 days.
Oh.
And then the convention is like 3 days long.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And you there. Sometimes we drive to, we'll go further out. We have to get a hotel because you're too far away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're getting in there from 8:30. That's when the singing starts.
Yeah.
To 5:30.
What are you doing in that time?
Listen, they are talking.
What are they talking about?
Repeating the same bullshit, okay? As a kid, I literally sat there pissed off. Just like, you're repeating the same shit I heard 6 months ago. Like, I don't care how you spin it. I don't care what example you bring up to the stage.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. And then they would have, like, reenactments. I don't know if
Yeah.
they do that at y'all 7 days. Like, reenactments.
Like plays?
Yeah.
That's
like,
pretty
since you-
entertaining.
That's the only part we liked. You in for the drama.
Going to the theater.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, oh, y'all gonna throw up a show word, but you got that on like a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like to close it out. So from Friday to Saturday, you're getting nothing but sermons thrown at you.
Wow.
Mad Bible verses.
And then telling you to go out and do service, which
all
is
day long.
the ministry of
all
knocking.
day long.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning, waking up, banging on people's doors, like, yo, you want to hear the word of God right now? You're
Like, I don't even want to hear the word of God right now. I know you don't, but I have to be here.
But the 7-day
Yeah.
Adventists, did they have to do that though?
Yeah, it's called like passing out tracts. Like if you
Okay.
go out and you like stand on the corner a little bit, not on the corner, but like you go to
sit
different
around.
places
Yeah.
and you give out these little pamphlets of whatever, go pass out some tracts about Jesus. And it's kind of like we were never like subject to do that,
Yeah.
but you know, everybody else was doing it. All of our friends were doing it, so like we did those things.
Okay.
You know.
Did that ever like once you grew up to be an adult and you started realizing similarities in religions? Did I ever like put a question mark on your thought process of why there's so many religions and what the real like goal is?
No.
Really? That's literally what it's come to for me.
I literally never think about that. I'm like, okay, this is what I grew up knowing. I know that there's some things that I really don't agree with, so I'm not gonna do those things.
And that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
It's just like when I hear some things and then I see the hypocrisy behind it.
Yeah.
That bothers me. It's like you're not really doing what you're preaching. So it's
Yeah.
kind of. Then I look at other religions. And I'm just like, well, they're not that different either.
Yeah.
So how am I really supposed to say this is the truth?
So because I don't necessarily think that everything that I read is the truth or it's not the truth.
Which the truth
I kind
is
of just
objective
like,
to me.
since I'm not going to actually like it doesn't, like what I know is already comfortable enough.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go figure it out. You know, like I'm not going to go and say like, this is what I heard. Let me research and see what I know. If that ends
Like,
up
no, I'm
happening,
good.
yeah. If
Like,
if that
that's it.
happens, if I cross that path, then I'll research it or whatever. Like, oh, I just stumbled upon this. But like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me go figure out which one is the right one. Whatever. We're just supposed to be good people and love God. That sounds pretty basic to me. I'm with
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, like
That's
I'm
it.
good.
I'm-
I don't have to do all the rest of these things to do those things.
It makes me. I always thought to myself, how do they know this comes from quote unquote God? That's always my thing.
Yeah.
Like you tell me you have a close relationship with him. How close
You can
is it?
hear him.
Like I'm not saying that they know there's no
Have
such
you
thing
ever
as-
thought you've heard the voice of God?
Hell no! I would have thought I was crazy. You're like, hold up, fam.
Hello?
Who the fuck-
Hello?
Like, nah, bro. Like, I mean, being Nigerian. There's certain things culturally
Yeah.
that if they happen, I take it as a sign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that has always been like a conflict for me. Like certain things.
Like who's giving you the sign though?
Exactly.
The universe
Yeah,
or
I don't know. That's why like the religious side of me that grew up is like, yo, that might be the work of the devil, something like that. You know what I mean? But then the cultural side of me is like, this might be a sign towards something that you should be careful of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just like, what's a lot of the times like, all right, like when you go somewhere and you don't feel the right energy.
Yeah.
Like something's off about it.
Yeah.
Something's like, all right, I don't feel.
My
know,
intuition is telling me something ain't
like,
right.
is that God telling you that, or is that something like in us as just people? Like we just know what's going on.
Or that's the question. Because it's like something is saying it.
Yeah.
Something is telling you to do that. And
your
that
radar
just can't
is
be
going off right
your
now.
body's like working and but like that's like emotional something telling you warning.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Go back.
Be careful, cautious.
Yes. Fight or flight, bitch. Fight or flight. Yeah.
And a lot of it's always like a last minute thing. If you
Yeah.
notice. Before something that happens, your body goes, wait, what? Spidey senses is tingling. Like, hold on, what's going on?
Spidey senses.
Like, so with you growing up in that household, how did that transition? Going to school and developing like, okay, how am I gonna balance these two cultures here? Like, were you Trinidadian at school, Spanish at home?
So because we spent most of our time with my mother's side, which is Honduran,
Yeah.
I felt more connected to my mother's side.
Okay.
Because we were like always with them. We saw them every Sabbath for church, and then we ate after. If anything is the church banquet, or if we're going shopping, like my mom links up with all of her sisters and we go shopping together. Like,
how many of y'all? That sounds like a
when
whole
we're
lot.
together, it's about 16.
Damn. All women?
No, it's like there's mostly women. It's like maybe 4 or 5 guys.
Man, they gotta go through that?
Yeah.
That's a whole
but then,
lot.
like, when we go on vacation,
Okay.
we travel together.
Okay. But that's
A
family
team
stuff.
of
Yeah.
14. Like, it's just like there's a lot of family time. There's
Okay.
a lot of family time.
Yeah, that's very Spanish.
Yeah.
That's very, very Spanish.
Extremely
Yeah.
a lot of family time.
So how did you, being who you are, like, were you always the hot sauce side, or did that, like, come?
I've literally always been like crazy, bubbly,
Yeah.
a clown, like loud, because I'm small, like I have Napoleon complex, like literally.
I feel you on that.
You know, like I've always been just mad fun, like
Okay.
just mad, like crazy. I've been called crazy since I don't even know how long. Like I've
Yeah.
always been like, you know, made myself bossy
Yeah.
and like always like asserted myself in leadership
Never mind your
roles.
damn,
You know,
never mind
like
yourself. Never mind your damn business.
it never. I'm always
And that's it.
nosy. I want to know what's going on. Like I want to conduct meetings and things like that. Like I've always been like that. So like hot sauce kind of just, it was just like the turn on, because at the same time I like to be right here on the couch curled up under this blanket watching Netflix for hours
1,000.
and
1,000.
like not speaking to people.
Okay.
Like even if there was somebody here, I like silent company.
I like those. Yeah.
Yeah, silent company.
A
Like
lot of people feel weird about those silent comments. Like, nah, just chill, bro.
just come through.
chill.
You sit over there. I'll sit over here. We
Let's-
watch a
yeah.
movie. Ha! You saw that? Ha! That's it. No long talk. Like just chill with me, my nigga. Like
I ain't gotta do
pass
too
the
much.
blunt. You know, like things like that. Like you know, like let's smoke, let's drink, whatever. But you know, like there doesn't have to be a lot of conversation. So that's how I literally like to spend the majority of my time.
I feel you on that. I'm
Yeah.
definitely the same way.
But I
Just be
also
chilling.
do know that I have that wild side that likes to pop off. So like when I'm out, like it was just natural for me to just be who I was and then just to give it a name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were like some childhood experiences that like you saw the world from two places? When did it come together for you as one?
Like I don't know, just growing up, like what you're taught and what you experience.
Yeah.
You know, so like you're taught that if you do such and such and such, this is the outcome. But you ended up doing such and such and such. It happened like that, but not like that. So you kind of have to fuse them together to figure out what makes sense in your brain. Like just for you. Like that's a personal to me. It's not it's some of what I was taught and some of what I experienced. So like I'm going to fuse those like, so this is legit the exact scenario that works best for me. This is my truth. This is what I believe.
I hate that word.
I know. This is my truth. Like, who else truth would it fucking
Like,
be?
come on, son.
Yeah, but, you know, like, that's literally like, okay, if I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. You know, like.
So what was it, like, let's say, whatever, what was something like, let's say, high school is pretty, like, impactful on people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? What was one thing that, like, happened to you in high school? You was like, wow. And it just kind of like, I don't want to say shattered something about your view of the world, or either brought it together. It can either be shattered or like
I think it
open. Actually, the word is open your mind.
Open my mind. So like I've been thinking about it, and I was like, I think I've always had like an entrepreneur type of heart. Like I think I've always wanted to figure out how to make my own money. Like there was some real weird things that I did. Like I would, when I was in the cafeteria, I would never bring money with me because I was cheap. I'm still cheap. I'm still cheap as fuck. Cheap as fuck. So like I would, you know, I would have my own money, but I wouldn't want to spend my money. So I'd like ask people for a quarter.
Wow.
Can I have a quarter? Do you have a quarter?
No shame.
Do you have a quarter? And a quarter is so like cheap change. It's
It
like
is
not
cheap
a
change.
dollar.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just got that back from your change. So can I have a
Wow.
quarter? Do you have a quarter? And it wasn't like I was begging. I was just like, hey, do you have it? If you do have it, can I have it?
That is begging so bad.
So literally, like
But
at
you
the
have
end
the
of,
money in your
at
pocket,
the end of
it's
the
like,
day,
nah.
I had like $8. So like I was really
Yeah.
into panhandling early.
Easy.
But for me, it was just like,
But that's a smart hustle though.
yeah, like I
Quarter,
got
yeah,
money.
nobody cares about a
I
quarter.
came in with $4. Now I got 12. You know, like I made $8 in the cafeteria. So then after that, I was like, you know, maybe I should allow people to get a service for me asking for their money. So I was on a part of the step squad, and I was like, we need to do fundraisers. Let's buy candy from BJ's and sell it at lunch.
Easy.
So I used to go to BJ's with my mom. She'd take me up there. You know, we was to put the money in. Well, I put my money in because, you know, I was like, I'm going to get that shit back.
It is what it is.
You know, I'm the treasurer, so, you
Show
know.
something is in there.
I'll buy all this with my money that I've been saving up from panhandling. And I'll go get the candy. And then when we'll make it back, I'll pay myself back.
Yeah.
And then from everything else, Like we were able to get like sneakers. I had like sneaker sponsors.
Damn.
Like I was able, like we got uniforms. We used to go and pick out the uniforms from Rainbows and
Ooh,
things
I
and
was
order
popping.
them
Yeah,
online.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like for our step squad. So we was always laced because I like doing that kind of work.
But
I like
you-
making
you-
money.
But you've been hustling. Since then.
Literally.
I can't believe you panhandle quarters.
Literally quarters.
Should've
Just
thought
a
about that.
quarter.
I would have been mad guap too.
It was the easiest
Guap.
because, yeah, here's a quarter. And something, I don't have a quarter, but I have $1. Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Appreciate,
No
but see, that as a dude, I feel like dudes ain't gonna look at a shorty no type of way. I'm like, she just wants a
Yeah,
quarter. Fam.
exactly.
That's it. But a dude, I can't go around asking for a quarter. It's like, yo, this nigga's always broke.
Exactly.
it's just
And it
a
was
quarter.
good that I was, charming and shit. That made you feel good about giving me a quarter.
Talking dudes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still doing that now. Doing that now. Oh my goodness.
Like it was like then that I realized that I wanted to I like making money. Like I really like to make money. And I remember in the Gap, I wonder if we could get arrested for this now. It's child labor.
No. You good. I think,
I forged my work papers so I could start working at 15 instead of 16 because you have to be 16.
I was not expecting you to go there. I was not expecting you to say that. But okay. All right.
I
hope it's over.
legit, was able to take a thing. I wonder if Gap will get in trouble. Will I be able to sue?
I don't know.
I'm about to own the Gap.
You wilding right now, so I know.
So, I forged my working papers so that I could start working at 15 instead of having to wait for 16. So I used to work at the Gap,
Chilling.
After school, I used to go to work, make my money.
Nah, I feel that.
Yeah, so
Man. My parents wouldn't let me
I've
do that
always
shit.
liked to make money. Oh, they wouldn't let you work?
Nah, they wanted me to focus on school.
Oh.
I ain't focused on school though.
Yeah. So you should have got a damn job.
Exactly. I wanted a job so bad, yo. I was like, damn, I want a job because I didn't like that my parents gave me money.
Yeah.
I felt weird.
You want to make your own money.
And in the African household, it's like they got something over your head. So I wanted to take all power away, and they knew that shit. Like the minute, the first cell phone I got it by myself. Mm-hmm. And my dad's like, "Why you get the cell phone?" I was like, "Nah, yo, I'm good. I'll take care of it myself."
I got this, Dad.
Don't worry about it. Keep giving me money you give me because the money you give me was paying the
Pay my
bill.
bill.
It's not gonna work. But what? And then I finally got my first job when I graduated high school. I got everything on my own. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't take my car. You can't take my keys. You can't do none of that.
I want to go live in this car I can. If I run away.
Go ahead and kick me out. I'll be fine. Sleep in my car. I was so happy that I had my own things. You know what I'm saying? But so you did high school. When did you have your kid? Your son?
So high school, then I went to college. I did 5 years in college.
For what?
So I started out in nursing because my whole life I wanted to be a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a baby nurse.
Sounds
I wanted
like an
to
immigrant lifestyle. Sounds like an
I want to
immigrant
be
lifestyle.
a nurse, that's a good honorable career.
It is.
That's pretty lit. And I went to nursing school and I only did good in like the psych classes. And then I was failing all of the science classes and shit like that. I was doing good at psychology and
You couldn't comprehend what the fuck that science shit
yeah,
was,
all that
right?
shit. I was like,
What the fuck is this? Big ass words and shit, mad X's and Y's everywhere.
what is? And then the science portion, what is all the muscles and the veins and the arteries, and they all have a fucking
You want
name.
no smoke, right?
I was just overwhelmed all the time. Oh my God.
You're like, what's going on?
I
with
was
this?
barely passing until I got you couldn't get no C's.
Okay.
So I got two C's or 1 C and 1 C minus. And I got kicked out of the nursing program.
Yeah, they'll definitely kick you off of that. Yeah.
So I was like,
Bless
all
him.
right then.
Nah, bless him.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I couldn't do that shit.
Talked to a guidance counselor. She was like, why don't you try communications? Got in communications, started acing all my classes,
Easy.
A's and B's. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like being around people. This is what I like to do. So I graduated since I had so much nursing classes, I graduated with a BA in communications and a minor in allied health just so I can count those
Like those
nursing
credits,
classes.
right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like I got a little health minor there, but I'm like,
Nah,
I'm
this is
all
what I do.
set.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I'm
what I
all
do.
set. Yeah.
Do you like talking to people, or do you like no? Do you like being around people, or do you just like talking to them and then be like, I'm gonna talk to you later?
That part.
Okay.
That's where I am.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
okay, come over, like let's whatever. And then after I'm like,
Yeah. So.
hey, so what you about to do? What you about to do?
That's one of the things I realize about all creatives that I've been come in contact with is we do the socializing out
Yeah.
of necessity.
Yes, yeah.
Like we're all socially
Because
awkward.
we have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But after you're like, I'm trying to get the F out of here.
Yeah. Unless it's like you're like tried and true, then you're like, nah, chill, son, you stay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain people like you can just vibe with.
Exactly.
Like you click
yeah.
with the IQ, you can have a good time with
Yeah.
them. But when you first get into an event or a mixer, those first few like 30, 40 minutes, kind of just chilling, peeping out what's going on and everything. I always realize like being socially awkward myself and then everybody else around me is socially awkward. We're all kind of like, should I go say hi to them first?
Yeah,
or,
It's the weirdest thing. So what has been my scapegoat is to like find a corner with someone that I don't mind speaking to.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sit there.
Yo, we sound like straight trash. We don't mind talking to you.
Yeah, I don't mind talking to you. You're kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'll sit here with you. And then...
hopefully somebody else comes.
Yeah. And then if not, I'm so far in the corner that I'm still looking social, except that I'm really hard to reach, so you can't even say hi to me.
And you don't even want to come all the way over
yeah,
here.
like,
you have fun.
Hey, girl.
I see you. Oh, my goodness, man. It's so bad. Because I see it everywhere. I'm just like, it's so funny to me. Because we all like, all right, we enjoy the ambiance. We enjoy the mixer. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
But to get it off, it's like, all right.
When you're going, you're like, oh.
Like,
and when you're
like
leaving, you're
like,
like,
this week.
Exactly. Like,
Jesus Christ, man.
It's over. Time to go home.
You graduate college.
Yeah.
Your BA, health minor. Boom, you're pregnant.
Nope.
Oh. So what did you do? I was like, nah, I'm just playing. What did you do now once you graduated? What did you go into?
So once I graduated, I got a job at Partners Healthcare, and I was a admin associate, executive associate, some shit.
You did paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the assistant to the assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, literally. I was the assistant to the assistant.
I love the titles that you have it at the house. I'm like, so you just do paperwork, you're the secretary? Like, just you handle papers. So, all right, cool. You good?
Yeah. Sorry. So, I pretty much hated that job.
Yeah.
And then, like, the company started to go through a lot of, like, little changes. And I switched. My boss left, so I got another boss. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got another boss, and then I got another boss because the department was going through so many changes, and then I got the last boss.
Okay.
I've never liked the last boss. I've seen the last boss in all of the other positions, but I was just never under him, but I've never liked him. His name was Ken Kurlanus. And... Fuck you, Ken. Ken was an asshole. And when he became my boss, I got micromanaged to the T.
Oh,
and
those are the worst.
That was the most detrimental thing that you could do to me because
you're a messy
like he
person.
would he would come and like when I was supposed to be there at 8:00, he would be at my desk at 8:00 waiting to see if I was there.
Oh,
like at lunch break, he would come to see, like walk by right when I was going on lunch break and then come back to see if I was there.
Back on time.
Yeah.
Damn.
When I was leaving, he didn't leave until right after it hit the time for me to leave. It was crazy.
That's too much.
So when he fired me, I had already gotten warned twice. So when he fired me before the meeting was like at 10, I got there at like 8:30. I just started packing up my desk one time.
He's like, I'm just going to get this over.
Yeah, I'm just going to get all of this over with. I'm just pack up my desk. Everything was ready. So when I got called into that last meeting, I knew what was going to go on. And when he told me that he had to let me go, I was like, yo, you know, like the one thing I want to say is this has been the best day of my life since I started working here.
Yeah.
Because ever since I started working under you, you have been nothing but a pain in my ass. and a completely horrible person, and I hate you. So I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for having me. But y'all could have told me this yesterday.
I didn't have to come into that.
I did not have to come in here. I could have cleaned my desk out yesterday.
Yep. I don't need the whole week, fam.
Exactly.
I'm only here because I have to be here.
My sister worked in the same building, so I was like, yep. So I just got fired. I went and spoke to HR because I was already documenting the point that I hated him. Yeah. So when I went to HR, the one thing that I left with is that they weren't going to hold a record over me stating that I got fired. So I would be able to just still freely get hired within the company without having that on my record.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with
it.
Anyway.
So I was just like, that's all I want from y'all. Have a good day. I'm out. And that was it. But in that time, I was a blogger.
Yeah.
So when I was working with the first boss, I had a lot of like free time and whatever. And so I started blogging entertainment news and commentating about, different things that were going on in the news and pop culture.
What year is this? So
this is like
a time frame.
2006. Yeah, so this is like I graduated 2006. So this is like 2000.
You graduated college 2006.
Yeah, I graduated college 2006. And I worked at Partners for 3 years. And in that time, I was blogging and stuff like that. Then after that, I started selling cars at Expressway Toyota after I got fired.
Oh, shit, you sold cars too?
Yeah,
you be hustlers, right? How you go from the hospital? Yeah, I'm going to go sell cars now. That's crazy.
Internet sales. So I was like upstairs bringing people in. So you would get paid if somebody came in. You would get paid if they left with a car.
Oh, so you got double whammies.
Yeah, and then you still got like a base pay. And then the more you do, you get bonuses and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
No wonder people like to be like,
car business is lit. You want to make money, go to the car business.
Because if you sell one car, that's $30,000 right there, easy.
Yeah, but it doesn't even work that much. Like they got to sell like 40 plus cars to get that type of money.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's not that lucrative.
No, it's like one car is $40,000. You know what I'm saying? The take home.
Exactly.
It's still not bad.
Not bad at all. And like, so... Yeah, so after that, I worked there for like 2 or 3 years, and then I started working for Mercedes-Benz. Started selling cars over there.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Hated that. Fucking hated that.
Are you serious?
I loved Expressway Toyota. I hated Mercedes-Benz.
What was the difference?
The clientele, the atmosphere, the energy, the
Was the Benz like way too like structured? Like
it was super structured. Yeah. I was working at Herb Chambers' headquarters. Homeboy used to fly in on a helicopter. First time I heard that, I was like, yo, the building is shaking. Do y'all feel that? Is that just me? They was like, oh, no, that's just Herb coming in. I'm like, oh, wow. That's just Herb coming in, huh?
Just regular day shit.
No, he just come in from a day. It's Wednesday on a helicopter. Nice, cool. So... hated that, and then I got recruited for Girls Radio. So this is 2015. Okay. 2015.
Damn. So wait, 2006, you did.
I graduated, went to Partners.
You did 3 years.
Yeah,
over there.
So that was 12.
6 is not 3 years.
What's that?
That's not 2009, ma. 3 years from 2006 is 2009.
So where we at?
2020 right now. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's a big jump. And then you went from there.
Oh, for 3 years I didn't work.
Oh, okay.
When Obama was president,
okay.
I didn't work.
Not adding
up. Yeah, you're right. For 3
years,
let me tell you, that's lit. For 3 years I didn't work because after I got fired from Partners, I wasn't working for 3 years.
What?
Yes. So this had to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so at the end of that 3 years, because Obama kept on...
so after 12,
you
got back to work.
Yeah, because I already had my kid.
Yeah.
I had my kid in 2012. So those 3 years that I wasn't working, I was actually busy. And I was working at the radio station too.
Okay.
So I started working at the radio station in 2009. And this was Hot 97 the second time around.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like the...
We're trying to reboot it.
Yeah, this was the second time around. So that was Hot 97. That's when I started interning for Hot 97.
Also, you were working, just wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
I
All
was
right.
so I
Intern.
was
All right.
doing different hustles at this time.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is when I started really hustling.
Trying to figure
So
everything
yeah,
out. Okay.
hosting, and I was a radio person. Well, I was an intern, but I knew that I can start hosting. So like after like a month, I started kind of like, saying little things on air with DJ Alg.
Okay.
Like he's who brought me into the game of radio, like in real way. And even before that, I had started in radio in a little time too, like a little internet radio station. But this was like real radio to me at this point. This was real radio.
Yeah, because you're on live.
Yeah,
Somebody got
exactly.
handed
So, like it was after then that I started to find a love for radio. I started knowing that I can sell different things like ads, and I can start hosting events. So I would like, if a promoter like sent me a flyer, then I'd be like, do you need a host for your next event? Like everybody that sent me a flyer or tagged me in I don't even think tagging was going on. Anybody that sent me a flyer to my DMs or my private message or anything like that, I would send them an automated message back. Do you need a host for your next event? And that's how I started hosting.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, we're at 2012. Yeah. 2009. Yeah. 2009 to 2012.
3 years.
3
of
years.
just hustling and hosting and
and getting food stamps from the government. $350 a month, nigga.
Month? Back then?
Shit. Listen, my son's whole first birthday party was sponsored by the government. Okay, we had oxtail fish, we had everything.
But wait, 300 is a month though?
$350 a month. It was only me.
Yeah, you're right. You don't need all of that.
I don't even eat as it is. Like,
Nah, right.
like, so, and then as soon as I got a job, shut off. Like the government only helps you if you ain't shit.
Yeah. That's it. And that helping, I hate that too. That people think just collecting that shit is good. Like it's not good. You're like you're perpetuating a mindset here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like your kid really can't get J's. He's gotta go rob somebody to go get some J's.
Yeah.
Bro, or go do something crazy.
It's really bad because it's like you know that if you get a job, you're gonna get cut off from help. But if you know that if you get cut off from help, with the money you make from your job, you're not going to be able to pay for everything. Yeah. So it's kind of like, what do I do? Do I just stay here and keep collecting this, or do I? It's hard. That's a hard decision.
I gotta ask you, since I mean you grew up, I guess in the city, the mindset of just getting a job. Why is it just a job and not just like a
career?
Not a career, but like a well-paying job to be able to like keep your head above water. Because I'll see people like 19, 20 who are making, yo, I'm cool with my McDonald's. Nothing's wrong with a McDonald's job.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with that. But I feel like 19, 20, I'm like, you should be at like 17, 18 now to me.
Doing what though? What kind
There's
of
a lot of jobs. I was 19 working for Mass Housing making 21.
Oh, really?
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I never.
But I feel like those kind of jobs are hard to get these days. I feel like nowadays it's almost like at this point you ain't gonna be able to afford anything anyway.
It don't matter. No.
So it don't even matter what you make.
If you're not making close to $150K a year in Boston, call it a day.
Yeah, you're struggling.
Yeah. You're making ends meet. Yeah. And
Hello.
if you got a family, good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And like, I think that's one of the things, like when I had my first kid, like I was working security at the time and I was cooling, overtime like crazy, security guards is chilling. We don't really do much, but it was a good paying job at that time. First kid, I was like, wait a minute, yo.
This ain't enough.
Like, wait a minute, I can't even go shopping no more. Like, how much are the diapers? Like, whoa.
Dude, she really need more diapers.
Like, stop shitting. Like, cut it out.
Shake it out.
Cut it out. Like, food. Oh, I was like, my goodness.
She hungry again?
Like, fam. It was so much. Like, learning, like, emotionally, like, learning how to gauge it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it was for you and your son, but for me, my daughter, I was like, I really don't know how to, like, talk to a kid. Mm-hmm. Like, how do I talk to this mom? Like, you know what I mean? But she was just, she was cool though.
Yeah.
She didn't bother me too much. She was like, yo, you chilling? Like, yeah, you cool, bro. I just realized, like, I just treated her like I treat my boys.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. I was like, all right, I'm gonna treat her like she's one of my niggas. So,
What up? What up,
you
young
know?
man?
So how did you and your son, like, how did that bond come to be? Like, when you had him, like, how did that change your life?
So again, like so maybe I had him. The timeline is off somewhere. Timeline is off somewhere. I gotta fix that. I gotta look at my resume and see,
See what's going on.
Because there's some. So yeah. So in that time, I had no. It's not that off. It's actually right. So 2012, when I had him, I started working. Like 9 months later.
Okay.
So I had 9 months home with him.
Okay.
And then I started working at Expressway Toyota. So so that works. 2000 and so I was not working from 2009 to 2012, and then I got a job.
Okay.
And then like things changed because me and his dad, I think we stopped dealing after like his year, and we tried to work it out a couple more times. It just kind of never worked.
Your fault or his? Or it's just like a mutual thing?
I think that we weren't realistic about our compatibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay? So I'm married, and I'm not a person who ever thought that I would be married.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really big on
marriage.
I'm not really big. I'm just not big on one person.
Yeah.
It's not something that I ever cared about. You know what I'm saying? But when, you know, I said to my wife, like, you know, I'm glad that I married you because I can. You're
okay. Yeah. You're cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah.
mind. You don't annoy me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't annoy me. I mean, little nuances, cool. But you're not to the point where I'm just like, I cannot come back home to this story right now. You know what I mean? It's never been like that. But prior to her, it was always that.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want to go home. So
Yeah.
compatibility is like, I never felt like I'm compatible. It's more like, how annoying.
How much annoyance can I take?
From you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was that for you and your baby's father?
It wasn't. Father? I don't think we could take much. I think
Okay.
he could take a lot more than I could.
Okay.
I think that I pulled the plug.
Okay.
Because it just wasn't working for me. It's not what I wanted.
Wanted or needed?
Either.
Okay.
I think that in my brain, for the child, it seemed like the right thing to do.
To stay together?
Yeah, to stay. Okay. But like, I kept thinking, like, I've learned to think about myself a lot too.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it makes sense to stay with someone if you're not going to be happy with them.
Is it their job to make you happy or for them to add to your happiness?
To add to my happiness.
Okay.
Because I think that, like, I think it sounds very cliche, but, you know, like, I feel like I just want to be a happy person in general before I start, you know, demanding somebody else to make me happy. Like, I don't believe in go date yourself and learn to love yourself. Everybody loves their goddamn self. Some people really hate themselves, but for the most part, everybody feels pretty decent about themselves. Like, if I was hungry and I wanted Cheesecake Factory,
I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, and I was nobody else to go with me,
Yeah.
I would just go do it myself. Like, it's not like I'm dating myself, lighting a candle and touching myself. You know, like, everybody for the most part likes themselves. So that's so stupid to me. But I don't believe that I just want somebody to, like, care about, like, making me laugh and making me happy too.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like if that's that person's persona already, like, all right, so one of the biggest things has always been for me, like, when people are trying to get to know each other, it's always like the representative that they're talking to in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I want this person to like me, but you're putting out the perception that you think that they like instead of actually showing yourself. Because then when we get comfortable, that's when we really start showing
like,
who you the fuck. Yeah, yeah. So that's always been the thing for me. Like, I never understood that from people. Like, why are you portraying something that you cannot keep up with?
Yeah.
Because you're going to slip one day.
Oh, yeah. And that's, like, how come I feel, after a little while, when I start to get over things, I start to become a major bitch. And, like, that's not nice either. I even recognize that flaw. Like, you don't got to talk to motherfuckers like that.
No, you really
God.
yo,
Like,
yo.
jeez.
That might just be the hood in you, though. Like, you just can't help that shit.
Yeah, like, and I noticed it because my son kind of does it too. Like, when he gets mad and he's emulating what he's heard, I'm like, ooh, he sound like a little asshole. Yeah, that sound like me. So
like, where did he get that from?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, his teacher called and said that he got in trouble the other day because he said hell really loud, and I was like, ooh. Cause I'd be like, hell. So I was like, shit, I gotta watch my mouth. Not really, because he knows those words.
He knows words.
Okay?
Yeah. Like, yo, no, you can't say, come on, son, you know the deal. Stop playing.
He be telling me not to say them, so why you gonna go say them?
Get me in trouble in school. Yeah, you're in school like this.
Snitch. Like, come on, man.
I be telling my kid, like, yo. So our kids are opposite. My oldest is like scared to get in trouble, like scared to do anything wrong. Yeah. I be like, yo, I'm just like let off some steam because you come home with high energy because you've been holding all your bad shit for so long, Where it's like they're well behaved, they don't do anything at all. They're very helpful. I'm like, this bitch is not helpful ever.
No, who are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about to me right now? And then, like, when in the playground, I don't know about your son, but Will's daughter, Johnny, she has a lot of anxiety. Like, she doesn't want to get in trouble a lot. But I'm like, yo, if somebody's messing with you, listen, man, I need you to handle that.
Yeah.
Like, don't come tell me. Tell me after you handle that. Because what am I supposed to do to a kid?
Yeah, I can't go shake up a kid.
Like, but what am I supposed to do? Well,
hit him back.
Warn them. If they're not putting hands on you, warn them.
Yeah.
Warn them. But if they put hands on you, better lay the smack down.
That's
it. I'd rather you get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Than
my
you
son
come
is
home.
a big dude too, and he's always complaining about this and that. If they hit you once, tell the teacher. And if they hit you again, you better lay them out. Like, come on, son.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe in the snitching. And so it's only just put hands on you.
Just lay them out one time.
Take care of that after. Teach you how to happen.
You don't even believe in baby snitching?
Nah, never, nah. Well, it's a guy thing. It's like, nah, if a guy puts hands on you, you got to handle that right there and then. And then you go, like, oh, what happened? Talk to him. He
hit me, I hit him back.
That's it. Why didn't you come and tell me? Nah.
Easy.
Like, that's just how it was. But I understand for girls, because my middle child is not like that.
What is she like?
She's ready to go. She's feisty. She's ready. You put hands, she's putting hands out too. And I'm just like, why is my oldest a pussy?
That is a very, like, I don't want to make my son soft, but I also know that I'm a mom, so I do baby him a lot. But it's one of those things. I'm trying to stop. Like, we get real, but sometimes I'm like, oh, come sit on mommy's lap.
See, and that's
Let
how.
me kiss you up.
See,
oh, he's so cute.
They do that for my son, because I work a lot. I work, so he's with the girls a whole lot.
Yeah.
So when I come home, he wants to fight and stuff like that, but then he'll just start to whine about little stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you've been around these girls too long. You over here.
Come here, baby. Come here. Let me save my child.
Right. But he's so cute. I'm like, yo.
Come, let's hug.
Like, chill, man. Now that we're at the point where you are a mom, you're doing the radio now and everything. How did that impact your relationship with your son?
So it is a lot because my son also has ADHD. So he's super amped.
Okay.
Like me.
Like prescribed ADHD or like black people?
Like
ADHD?
prescribed ADHD.
I gotta ask.
Yeah. To the point where it is one of those situations where he could technically be on medication.
Okay.
But I'm trying to not go that route. Like, fill him up with other activities. Swimming, karate, things like our natural.
But see, that's healthy, though.
Yeah.
You're not giving him meds.
Exactly. Trying to, just steer away from there.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I don't want to be a detriment by feeling that way. Like, feeling that we can solve it all naturally if he actually needs them. So we've tried them twice. And it wasn't the right one. I didn't like the outcome of him. So I stopped them. And instead of keep on trying a different one all the time, I'm like, let's just chill on this.
For a minute.
We'll focus on other things. And if we have to revisit it. But it's so bad that he's not being able to keep up in school. Because his focus level is absolutely unavailable.
So for somebody like your son, do you think he would need like a vocational type of school where he's hands-on with things that keeps him busy?
So right now he's in like special education classes.
Okay.
So he has a very small classroom of 6.
Okay.
And they are all, at the same level of learning. So they're like learning sight words. They're good for where they're at, but they could possibly be more if they didn't have, some little issues going on.
Okay.
So like he's learning a lot. Like he comes home with something different every day, and I'm really proud from where he came from, because he was in early intervention because I was nervous that he wasn't gonna be able to speak.
Oh,
period.
I'm going through that right now myself. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack.
Really?
Like my son can talk,
Yeah.
but he doesn't pronounce certain words.
Yeah.
I mean, like he talks like fluently, just
Yeah.
like say your S's, bro.
Yeah.
But he just can't.
But for some little kids, like this lisp and stuff is normal. But if it's really a delay where he's not like putting sentences together, because that was my first indication.
Okay.
Like he would point at things instead of saying things, and then when he did say them, he would only speak in like words and not sentences. Yeah, so I was just like, the boy's not forming sentences. Hello, the boy's not forming sentences.
Something is off.
Help
right
my
there.
child. So we put him in early intervention from early. So he's always had like different therapies throughout his life.
Okay.
To kind of like speech therapy and occupational and like things where he can like, he's so overstimulated all the time that just kind of helping him to cope with his overstimulation, like calm down, like he cannot keep still. And I'm like, oh my God,
that's a whole lot.
Quarantine with the kid.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot, man.
But he's fun. He just wants to always, like, he always wants to have fun. He also wants to do something crazy. So like with Spark now, because he needs so much attention.
Yeah.
Spark needs attention.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard because both of them are necessary in my life. One of them is going to be able to set us up for later in general. Generational wealth.
Yeah.
And, just making sure that we're always good. And he is my child that I've been put on earth to groom and make sure that doesn't die, nothing bad happens to him.
Yeah.
He gets smart, gets, like he grows up to be a positive person in society.
Okay.
So like it is very hard to kind of balance the both, because when I have like a meeting or something, I have to neglect the meeting or I have to neglect him, depending on what it is. So I have to like literally schedule my life around this person and around this business. So it's always just like a major struggle to get everything done.
I have to give you props for that one, because you're doing that by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like spoiled in that aspect because my wife takes care of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm missing out on a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like there are days I'm not home. Like if I'm home and sleep and I'm gone next day, I don't see them for like 2-3 days, and then they're like, Mom, can you tell Dad that we want to spend time with him?
Hey, can you ask him to,
like,
hey, we're here.
So like, so I totally get that,
Yeah.
like having to plan around somebody. If I had to plan around my kids all the time, the frustration level would be nuts.
It is crazy. And people really don't understand that. Like, I really would like, okay, 2 things. I really would like to go to different places, and I really would not like to go to different places. So sometimes I might use my kid as an excuse.
1,000.
Easy.
1,000.
Oh, I got the kids.
When y'all have kids, whoever doesn't have kids, when you have kids, it's the best excuse in the world. Nobody can say anything.
Nobody will question you on anything.
Ever.
Yeah,
it's the best feeling.
It is. And then sometimes it really is, and it's like, damn.
Yo,
I just want to go.
I just want to go.
I just want to go. I gotta.
Dude, I hate.
Yeah.
So like my I don't want to say my real friends, but like my friends outside of the media game, whatever. Like seeing them is such a rarity now.
Yeah.
Because we're all in different aspects, and
Yeah.
you're like, so you got the family, you got the job, you got the podcast shit. Like, fam, when we gonna see you? I'm like, look, you sound like my kids. Get in line, bro.
Yeah, like, come
I'll
on.
figure it out, bro.
Just hold me down.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something over here.
Yeah.
Like, chill. So now that everybody knows the Henya Howings timeline, what you've done with that, how you've built that up. You know what I'm saying? You've been on the other shows that I produce and everything like that. But now that you made history with SparkFM.
Yeah.
When was it like? What took you? I know leaving big city was a trigger.
Yeah.
Definitely. That got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So when that came, because you had years there, when that came, when that ball was knocked out, what was your thought process before SparkFM was like, okay, that's it?
You know what? Like as I go through, like when I'm just chilling, when I get high and stuff like that, and I'm like thinking about things. Spark was originally a podcasting like studio.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the podcast garage in Austin.
Yeah.
Like that's I wanted to bring that to the hood. Like literally that was my goal because I was like the podcasting crew out here is growing by the numbers
Huge.
every day.
Huge. Too many different people.
Too many different people. Like old people come like BNF just came back.
Back. Was it both of them or one of them?
I don't know.
I think
I've only seen one.
I've only seen one.
But I was like,
but I like it though.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You know.
I think what people like. So, one of the things I've been with thinking about the whole podcasting situation is there's so many podcasts that talk about different things, so many different like aspects, and a lot of it is people of color.
Yeah.
A lot of it is people of color, and it's just like, okay, I'm a competitive person. I love to compete.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, how are we really doing in a sense of building that scene? Like, how strong is it? Exactly. Because a lot of us don't know each other.
Yeah.
We'll see each other out, but don't even know that, oh, he actually has a podcast.
Yeah.
Or that person's podcast is actually good. Even if I'm listening to them, I want to be able to put face to the voice. And they're like, yeah, when I meet a person, I'm like, are you really a personality or just a person that talks?
Who are you?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So now that you took that and you was like, all right, this is not going to be a podcast anymore. When did that change? Like, this is not going to be a podcast anymore.
I don't know. It was, so there was like a natural progression. So it was like, let's do a podcast. And then what we'll do is that we'll make the podcast, we'll make it half podcast and half radio.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Like,
okay, because it is different from Henny and Hot Wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Because I wanted something bigger than Henny and Hot Wings.
Okay.
Like, my vision for Henny and Hot Wings was just to be an escape from radio. Because radio was censored, and Henny and Hot Wings was when I get to like let off.
Yeah.
So then when I wasn't on radio, I didn't have a bigger thing that Henny and Hot Wings made sense. Like now Henny and Hot Wings was just its own little brand that was just doing things in the little engine that could, and we're just staying afloat and we're good and we're growing in popularity. Things are dope, But at the same time, it was just like, we're missing something. Something is missing. And everybody has a podcast. But then I got kicked off of, I didn't get kicked off of radio. Let me stop saying that. I like to say it like that because it makes me feel like a victim.
Yeah, I was about to say. She's like, a victim card works, fam.
Yeah,
I
man.
need that victim card.
And I'm going to use that. I got kicked off.
The niggas show me no love, fam.
They didn't do nothing for me. Like, yo. But it was because working at these two smaller stations, like these stations that kind of gave me the experience that I've had, I was able to figure out, like, there's a market because clearly these stations have been up for this long.
Yeah.
There's clearly.
I didn't even know Big City existed until I came into this thing. All I knew was ZAR 96.9 and 94.5 and the other white stations.
Yeah, so there's Big City and then there's B87.
See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so that's another like Caribbean station. There's actually a lot of little tiny ones.
Okay, but see,
and they're not little. And I don't want to say little tiny because that sounds mean. But no, they're just like. They're not so well known. They're known, but they're not so well known.
They're known to their circle.
Yeah, they're not iHeartMedia.
Yeah.
Like, and then, so you have iHeartMedia, and then you have the smaller stations and the radio and the college stations.
Yep. Something
is missing. There's a middle section that is very much missing in all of this. There's levels to this shit, So, like, literally, like, if you're on these smaller stations and you can't get up there, what is also going to help you put you in the view of other people?
Yeah.
Like, where's that?
Put you in the conversation.
Yeah. Where's that level that puts you in the conversation? And the podcasts are doing a good job. Shout outs to It's Lit because you guys are standing in for that platform for artists and creatives to kind of have that. But it's you guys. And then there's a whole bunch of other little ones that doing it. Like, where is there a kind of, like, where do we have that in terms of
Like a network.
independent media and
Yeah.
making a network now?
Yeah.
So now iHeart has that network.
Oh, they got all of that.
You know, like
Yeah.
they have like go listen all of the podcasters on here. You know, like all of our blogs and This Is Us, and we have all of the celebrities coming in here. Celebrities literally, like in New York, there's like 1,002 million radio stations.
Yeah.
Both, you know, big media, medium media, small media, markets,
But
you
they
know,
all,
like
the difference about them is they all get the looks.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest difference
Yeah.
with New York and LA down
Yeah.
south. It's just like in our pocket though, not everybody gets the look
Yes.
because of the demographic that we're in.
Exactly.
Even though the quote unquote people POC demographic is huge, but we're all kind of segregated in our mindset
Yep.
also.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. So we need a platform that is for us, by us, that showcases all these things, that kind of puts us back into the independent media game, like on a level that's not, you know, like illegal radio or super mega radio. We need something
middle
that
ground.
is, a middle ground, and we need something that is professionally ran, like big band media, but has the freedom of small media. So let's go in there.
with it.
So let's pop it off. And then just from reading and branding and, you know, like how branding works for you.
Yeah.
Like if you start out with a strong brand, you put yourself in a good position for
big
later.
time. Oh yeah.
And so I've always been a branding freak. Like I'm
That's everything.
freak. Yeah.
That's your baby. It's like,
Exactly.
I can't build an empire with nothing. you know?
Exactly. So even with like the steps that I made for H&H, just, you know, like the t-shirts and getting visibility and making sure that the logo is present and people recognize it and stuff like that, I was like, we've got to up the ante if we're going to do something bigger than a podcast, like bigger than, you know, like social media going live or whatever. We need a platform. We need a fucking platform that we can pop off and that we can do what the bigger stations are doing just on a medium level.
Yeah.
So the birth of SparkFM Online, our only urban radio station.
Now, so I got a kind of a beef with you on that.
Yeah.
So when you say urban, I know you as a Caribbean strong person. Is it gonna be dominantly for Caribbean music, or you gonna try to find a balance for that?
No, we definitely have a balance.
Okay.
So that's why we put urban and Caribbean, because I didn't want people to feel, people be like, you're a soca girl, you're a soca girl, you're a soca girl.
Because that's what I was like. All right, I know there's gonna be a heavy load
Yeah.
of Caribbean music, which is fine. Nothing's wrong with that.
So in thinking about that, we strategically did put like different words in place, because when we were looking for a slogan, we was like, we probably can't really have a slogan because we have to make the logo mean what it is. So urban and Caribbean means like you're gonna get trap to Afro beats to soca to bachata. Like there is a healthy dose of literally everything on there, from old school hip hop to new school, from, you know, trap to R&B to, you know, like literally like and it was put in place like that because we couldn't just have another one of these other stations. We needed something to fuse the two. So when Sean Paul comes, he feels like he can come here because he is, you know, a dance hall artist. But when, you know, like 50 Cent comes, he needs to feel that same thing, that when he gets here,
he needs
whatever.
To go to SparkFM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, like he might not fuck with the Jammins and the 96s and the whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he like, oh, you know.
I'll go over there.
Yeah, a little professional black station.
Yeah, I'll go over
I'm there. When I walk in, I have the look and feel of if I was at iHeartMedia. I know that these are my homies, and that if I need one of them to go get, you know.
They know what's up in this building.
They know what's going on.
Yeah,
so like either way.
Representation is right there.
And our DJs and our personalities are completely and extremely diverse. And our DJs, we have a healthy balance of every single thing. So you're never going to just be like, yo, back to back reggae. Nah, like in between, you gonna have a whole entire.
I'm not even going front with you. That's why I was kind of afraid of like if I hear
No.
4 hours of dance hall, another 4 hours of soca, I'm gonna.
There's not even like 4-hour long shows. Like, you know, like we want to make sure that at every point everybody gets a mix of what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And in between, like even the playlist that we're testing out, like that playlist is crazy because it has a song from everything. You could be listening in 1 minute, you're hearing, you know, Tiana Taylor and Method Man. And then the next minute you're hearing, you know, like Marshall Montano. And the next you're hearing Davido, you know. Like you're hearing like all of the songs where you know like, oh, that's actually a good song to listen to.
How are you guys going to incorporate Boston artists? From all genres, from that fits the demographic that you're reaching out for.
When we first started, before we actually went soft launched with the Kickstarter, before that even happened, I started doing the work. Like when they talk about the work, they're talking about the work. DMing artists, asking people who are artists, who are these, watching y'all show, watching the Urban Collective. You know, like watching these things that showcase LFOD, you know, watching those things to see who's there. Hey, send me your music. Hey, send me your music. Hey, send me your music. It was definitely a cut and paste, but it was like, send me your music. Send me your music. Yeah, like this is what I need, clean and dirty. Send me your music. So by the time that we launch, like, because these are not musics that we, you know, songs that we hear all the time, it's a different process to get them in. Because you also don't want trash ass songs on there.
Hell no.
And you guys know that some artists have a good thing, but they have trash ass music.
1,000.
So going through those, but we want to incorporate them into like the major playlist as just regular songs.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's what I was.
You hear Rihanna and then you hear Dutch. You know,
exactly.
You see this person, you hear, you know, like you know. All of them. All of them. Because I was only going to name off girls, and I was like, they're going to say something.
That's fine.
You know,
we got Dutch, we got Cake Swag, you know, we got we got Red Shade.
We got all of them. So
Brandy,
those
whatever.
are the ones that I know the most by name because those are the niggas. You know, like, that's my niggas. So,
well,
like,
we got the dudes, we got Millies.
So that's why I have to, like, look at you guys to be like, oh, who did they interview? Get me your music. Get me your music. Because even listening to you, if you say it's trash, and I'm like, oh,
but the thing about Boston music, right? There's different pockets for everything.
Yeah.
So now, like, a lot of the quote unquote street music guys, kind of like Stacey Left Lane, who don't really get that kind of airplay, but they can be able to get airplay.
Absolutely. Like, those are the people that we want to reach out. Like, we even designed the Kickstarter so that they had a package specifically for the artists. And we put it like, it was like $300. We were going to design your media kit. You get a interview on Spark, you know, like in the first months when we're super hype, you know, just to get that out there. I think there was a photo shoot in it or something like that, or like, you know, just and you got to talk to like a music professional to kind of see where your brand was going or whatever. And I was gonna reach out to different people, but there was only two artists that took up that thing. Okay. Which I thought was a pretty decent price for all of that, because then you also get, you know, like swag. You can say we get a video to take home, all kinds of whatever. But I do feel like, and I remember you saying, I think you guys talked about it a couple times, like you guys even had a big episode about like DJs versus artists, who's responsible for making sure that the song is heard. Like if I'm an artist, who do I send it to the DJs? How do I get in contact with them? Versus if I'm a DJ, should I be asking your ass for your music? I gotta play it. Send me your music. But I found that to be true too. Like,
it's both sides of it. They're saying it both sides. There's no way to see. Everybody feels like they should be doing this on a third. Yeah. But it's like, just get the music somehow.
Just get the music. So that's why, like, at first I put out, like, who was your favorite Boston artist? Everybody was whatever. Send me your music. Send me your music. I wasn't. So then even while Spark was campaigning to raise the money, I was still doing that.
Still building
building us. Give me your music, because with or without you, I want you to be able to get your music heard. Yeah. Because if somebody likes it, you're definitely going to want to come back here. And it might be a little harder because I be watching and I'm petty. But, you know.
Hey, that's the way it goes.
Like, come on. Like, let's be real. But, you know, like, I just want to make sure that what I promise to the community,
Yeah.
I'm able to deliver.
Okay.
And then if I can afford to get petty after, then I can. But I just want to make sure that the people that did send me their music without me having to ask you 42 times. I'm not going to beg you to send me your music. If I ask you, send it to me. How do you feel about that?
They should, but I also feel like, so what I do on It's Lit and everything, I just go look for music, period. Like, that's fun for me, though.
No, I don't have that time.
You want to deliver what you said about SparkFM.
Yes.
So continue speaking about that.
So, yeah, we just wanted to deliver local and, what's the word? And non-local? And other?
Is what, for artists?
Yeah.
I don't know if they even like the
A-list?
word. I don't know if they even like the word local.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too sure.
I don't like the word local. Somebody told me about that one time, and I was like, yeah, I'm a local. And they were like, no, you're not local. Just say what you are. And I was like, oh, okay. So, New England artists.
Okay, that works.
New artists based out of New England.
Yeah, that works too.
And for the others, like the international, national artists.
The mainstream.
Mainstream. And mainstream artists, I wanted to fuse that. I also wanted to bring good programming that kind of discussed, like the things that we deal with in everyday life. Building credit, wealth, housing, politics. I'm really big into politics too.
Yeah. Why did you start that one with Carlos? What's his full name?
Carlos Enriquez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of that, I always want to ask you, like, I didn't see that coming. I heard that you did a little bit of politics back in the day and stuff like that, but once you started, I listened to a few of the episodes, and it's like, okay, wow, you don't know everything, but you know enough, and then Carlos really digs in about what's really going on.
When we were on Big City, we used to bring Super Tuesdays. So I brought Super Tuesdays to Big City.
Okay.
I thought it was important for us to get into politics. They used to interview other people, other politics went around election time. But I just felt that we didn't, when I started bringing Carlos, it wasn't even supposed to be political talk. We just ended up talking about that because there were elections going around and, I always saw him posting about it. And I started to get very interested in it. But again, I didn't know a lot. I didn't know anything about it. Okay. So from talking to him, I started to learn about it. And then I realized that there was a lot of people out there like me that they want to know about politics. They want to vote. They want to do all these things. But they really kind of just don't know. They don't know, they know that there's city council and there's, state reps and blah, blah, blah. But they don't really know what they do or why they do it or how you contact them or anything like that. So, it was one of those things okay, so let's teach them. Carlos being super political and me kind of being someone who is trying to learn about it and wants to learn about it and is very interested and like to be a super voter and be, in touch with the community. We just started talking, and when I left Big City, then we wanted to continue that conversation. So Politics and Ish came about because, and that thing be getting some numbers. And I was like, oh, y'all listening. But it's kind of cool because we get to, politics is big.
It's huge.
Politics is big.
I still can't pay attention.
You can't pay attention, but if you use politics to your advantage, then it sets you up in a really good way.
I totally get that. I think my issue with politics is I like the thought of one hand feeds the other. I don't like the thought of one shackling me.
Yeah. So that's why you kind of have to use your leverage as a citizen, which politics is supposed to be for us. So you have to use your leverage as a citizen to kind of figure out how you can have that benefit you.
And that's another thing with politics. When politicians are saying they're gonna do this, that, and the third, I'm like, fam, you don't even know what red tape is back
there.
then.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just talking right now.
So that's another reason why Politics and Ish was created, because it's Carlos is out of the politics game now. Yeah. So he's an inside.
He just has a knowledge.
Yeah, he has a knowledge of what's going on in there. So his story is crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's one of those. I'm like, okay.
So knowing that about him and knowing that he has no reservations because he has no loyalty for like y'all didn't have no loyalty for me. But like we get to talk candidly about politics.
Okay.
And we get to teach people about the ins and outs of politics. And we're teaching them through conversation because I'm asking, the ignorant questions like, what do you do? What is a city councilor? And when do they come? And how many of those? And in asking him, he can tell me, in which somebody's like, oh, so that's what it is. That's the question I had. I always wanted to know that, but I didn't want to ask because everybody needs to be a politician 1,000. When something happens.
Yeah.
So, like instead of pretending like I didn't know, why not just learn it? And so that's what that podcast is about. It's just kind of like, it's just another avenue of me because I like to organize. I like to, get people in the know and make sure they know what's going on. So, things like that just come easy. Things that I like to do, I want to make them visible.
Yeah.
Easy,
How do you think that Spark FM is going to connect the dots, actually? That's always been I think that's my thing now, is finding out the best way to connect the dots to not us who are in the media circle, but for the regular Joe Schmo who has no clue what's really like out here.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna connect the dots to reach them, for them to be like, oh, that's the station that I listen to because of the information they provide.
Because our DJs and myself and everybody that's associated with the station lives here. We are in the fields. We are walking the walk. We are talking the talk. We are here all the time with a foot to the ground. So we know what's going on. So in the morning, when it's, you get all your entertainment news and all your community news and whatever, blah, 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 that, oh, I was just driving up Blue Hill and I saw that. So that connects with people on like a real time versus like, like the podcast and blah, 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 and whatever. You're listening to those whenever you want to. But if you want up-to-date breaking news about shots fired down at Howard Ave or, things like that.
Yeah,
a bus just ran over, God forbid, somebody in Nubian Square.
And that shit's always deadly.
Exactly.
Don't give me that Nubian notion.
Down Dudley.
Nah, fine, it's deadly.
That's up-to-date news. I tuned in to Spark FM and I heard that was going on. I heard that there was choppers over at, Warren Gardens and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Naming all the blocks. Making it hot out here for dudes.
I was just on Morton Street and I saw that, yo. You saw that fire down there? So that people were like, oh, that's why I can't get through traffic. It's like on the spot, real time, curated for us news. And of course you're going to get the rest of it too. You're going to get like the national yeah. But we are connecting the dots by making sure that everything makes sense to people. This is real life people that we can probably go to the Stop and Shop and we'll see
them.
Yeah. These are real DJs. So like back in the days, DJs did have more respect than they have now because there was a platform for them to be on. They were celebrities.
Yeah.
DJs were celebrities. You see Chubby Chub is a celebrity. You see, like Mo D, and you see, Jack Frost and Cisco, or you see Real P or one of them, and you're like, yo.
Real P's a celebrity.
Yeah, Real P is
a celebrity. He's a celebrity.
All of these people, like, you see them, and you're like, but where can I hear them all the time? Yeah. Like, when can I hear them consistently? I don't go to the club. But I know that Real P's my dude. Why can't I,
mix with him all the time.
And Real P is one of the people that I literally I know him, but I would like to hear more of him. I would like to see him somewhere. I reached out to him too, so hopefully.
Holla at Danielle, fam. Stop playing, bro.
No, that's me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's me. That's
I'll be talking to him as a dude. He knows.
But yeah, so like that, all of those things, like there's so much talent in not only artists, but in DJs too. Like artists want to know that the DJs that they're playing are not just going to give them, radio spins in the club or like DJ spins in the club. Yo.
You hear them on the regular playlist.
Yeah. Like Evolution just played my song on Spark FM. Y'all go listen to that. Soundscape is out here doing their thing. I saw King Terror down at Daryl's, and now he's playing tonight on Spark FM. Like, that's how we're gonna connect the dots. Like, politicians come in. If you know, like, if Charlie B is playing somewhere, like at an African event coming up, you know, like there's an African artist coming in and he's the dude on the bill. Like, why wouldn't he bring that artist to Spark so that he can get that extra coverage? The promoters make money for arranging that. The artists get their music to a better crowd. You know, like, it's filtering down. There's a network being created. The DJs are being handed the music. We're finding out about this artist. You know, like, we are connecting the dots just the way that they are connecting their dots, and they can do this. Why can't we do it?
1,000.
We should be able to do that.
We should be able to do it better, actually.
Exactly. And we will do it better because, you know, like, we have the talent that y'all didn't do or that y'all disrespected. We're going to bring them together and we're going to make this something that's amazing. You know, like, we're going to do that.
Now, you are the CEO of Spark FM. Not Hot Sauce. Danielle Johnson.
Yes.
How does that feel?
I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. I hope that I do. But it is it's very scary to have your name on the line. So, like, although everybody knows me as Hot Sauce, you know, like, my name is out there, Danielle Johnson. So, like, I can't even hide behind a persona. But at the same time, what was able to build the brand into what it was Hot Sauce.
1,000.
You know, like, Hot Sauce built the brand.
Yep.
So we can't forget about her, even though Danielle is now the CEO. Hot Sauce is still the person
the
that...
Phoenix Rising,
yeah,
Danielle
exactly.
Johnson. Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of interviews I've been doing, they're kind of like trying to separate the two, but it's hard for me to separate the two.
They both than who you are.
Yeah.
Who
other
you are.
than, you know, like...
You know?
Danielle likes to sit down. Hot Sauce wouldn't mind, you know, being in the bathing suit flipping into the pool.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe Hot Sauce probably is just not in the mood today. And
Danielle Johnson.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So, like,
we're all here.
they're the same thing. We're here.
We're
Everybody's
Just
here.
depending on who you run into. At
Somebody's
the time.
sleeping. Like, it's
Yeah.
personalities, like, for real. So yeah, it is I think that I'm going through, like, I keep joking about this, but like some sort of like little depression. Because again, there's a lot of things that I didn't account for in the vision. There's a lot of things that I didn't know and that I'm learning. There is a lot of things that I don't feel like learning or doing, and I have to do them.
Yeah.
So for me, like, being just, you know, like, this is what I see, this is what I want, and going through the little steps to get there has been very kind of hard for me.
Okay.
It's like very hard. Because I'm a spontaneous person. I'm very sporadic.
Impulsive.
Yeah. So, like, now that I know that I have a team behind me and there's so much on the line, I'm, like, finding myself overthinking more than I was an overthinker. Because I've got to make the right decision. I've got to make the right decision all the time. Like, and if I don't, I have to be very solid in the decision that I did make, that I would probably make that decision again, even though it didn't work. So, like, that's all very hard to kind of put together. Because the pressure is on. And I'm not worried about it. I'm more anxious to have it start happening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this part. I don't want to build it out. I want to walk in, like, pimp my ride, and I have a whole new car, and all it is for me to run
Check it out.
Yeah,
Check it
that.
out.
Like,
yeah, don't worry about the work that went into it. Like, check it out.
Yeah. I want to get to that check it out phase. Like, it's done. We have it. Yeah, come through to the station.
Yeah, but you have to also look at it like the city itself has never seen nothing like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've been doing the rounds. You was on, what was that, BNN?
Yeah.
BNN. I was like, oh shit, she's on BNN. Like, she really making her rounds. Like she's doing nothing. But it's great though that they're recognizing what you're doing. I saw that you got an award or something from Suya Joint over there for the Women's Month. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So it's like, people are giving you your flowers for what you've done. I mean, that's why off mic we were talking about how that Kickstarter that it had to go through.
It had
to go through. Like terrifying.
Bullets.
You know what I mean?
Man,
the conversations I had with people like, yo, listen, she has a week left. Like she's out here, like I'm scared. And I was like, yeah, I'm scared for her too, but she makes this, everybody can suck our dick. She's gonna tell everybody to suck their dick. Like, for real.
And we made it. Like, when I say we made it, it wasn't just that. We, like, the city showed out.
Yeah.
The city showed out in a way that I didn't, like, I was just like,
yeah.
Okay. You know.
Did a couple, since you sorry about that donated everything, did that, I'm gonna get a little messy with it. I'll get a little messy, but, did that show you how people really felt a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Because that's
I saw people.
Not no names, nothing like that, but I knew going to that, seeing what you were trying to do, that people were going to. I didn't want it to happen. Obviously,
yeah.
I was like, damn, she's really gonna see who her friends are.
Yeah.
Like who really rocks her. Right?
That was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard because there were some people that I thought that were gonna come through that didn't come through. Yeah. Like they did. Like I was like hurt didn't come through. Like bothered by it. Like it took me like 2 therapy sessions and like vent sessions. Like sometimes I'd be like, yo, and people would be like, why are you still bothered about this? And I'm like, nah, son.
This supposed to be my mom. I'm a fucking man, yo.
There's the one guy that I know, like, you know, people that got banged.
1,000, yeah.
And you know that, like, I hit the person up in the beginning. He was just like, oh shit, that's dope. I got you. I hit them up like 2 weeks out, like 3 weeks out. Hey, I love you. Yeah.
What's up?
And I'm expecting this person to be like my like, you know, like if we need a last G.
Yeah, you got that.
You got me.
Yeah.
And when that person finally did donate, it was like $150. And I was like, So now, to some people, $150 sounds like, oh shit, that's dope. You got that.
It's like, I know this nigga.
No. I know this dude. Like, I know that it's easy. Like that, a G is nothing. A G is like $150.
Do you feel that's a bit of entitlement on your part?
Huh?
Do you feel that's a bit of entitlement on your part?
I did.
Okay.
But I think the way that our friendship was set up, I felt like I could have been entitled.
Okay.
I think that they, yeah,
what kind of bars?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's people that I know too that can expect a certain level of something from me.
Okay. Okay. You know? Yeah, you got that. All
so
right.
You know, like there's that dude. I was just because he was like, "Yo, I got you. Let me cook." Like it was big talk.
Yeah.
It was big talk.
Yeah, we talk big like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You can't do
it
that.
was big talk, and then you like, really?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you had to realize. But anyways, even from that, there were people that came through that I never would have expected.
How did that feel?
That was crazy. Okay. I was blown out the water by people that were donating, like regular people that I don't even know what they got, was like donating like $150, $200, you know, like $50, like even $20, everything like that. You know, like it
with
was.
With a Kickstarter, everything counts.
Everything counts, man. Because, like I said, some days we weren't getting a $5. There was days that went by. I was like, "Oh my God, somebody help me! Oh my God."
19 grand in a month is a lot to rack up.
Yeah, that was a lot to rack up. Yeah. And like, to be honest with you, that 21-2 didn't do nothing because like not to say it didn't do nothing, but it put us in a really good position to get started.
Well, a lot of people don't know like what goes into building a radio station.
Yeah,
the equipment is not cheap, especially high end, like professional. It's not cheap. A microphone.
I was $300-$400. I was like, for a microphone.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like we went and bought, like even just yesterday, we went to Micro Center. Because with the coronavirus, everybody's in there buying everything. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. There's like people coming in buying 30, 40 computers. I'm like,
what you need all that for?
I was like, there was one computer, it was a touchscreen computer that we were talking about. They had one of them left. I was like,
yeah,
we're going to grab that. And then they was like, you know, like, little things like that. And when it was time to purchase it, I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
at one time,
It's an investment.
woo, woo.
Investment.
But the Kickstarter gave us literally a Kickstarter.
Yeah. To get
It
it off the
kickstart
ground.
your business.
Get it off the ground.
That's all we needed to do is to get it off the ground. After that, it is more of now it's time to do the fun, real work though. It's time to get these ads. It's time to, brand this out. It's start to market. It's start to, make this thing explode. We gave it a little spark.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go full body because we made a lot of promises.
Yeah.
We made this very
You
big.
did your political run.
Yes. We made this
run.
very big.
Yeah. As you should have.
Yeah.
No, you should not. You should definitely have not kept this quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be loud about this.
Yeah.
That's the only way that people, I didn't even know you were doing
Yeah.
all of that. No,
No.
nigga, you knew.
Yep. It's been this. We in Black Enterprise.
You know what I'm saying? You have to
little
make the
things.
noise.
Yeah, little things like that. We know that impacted a lot of things. Not even little, because those are huge things. I remember when the We Buy Black contributor sent me the Black Enterprise write-up. And I pulled over and I cried my eyes out because it was so much. It was so overwhelming. I'm begging for money and I'm being recognized as, first Black woman for the digital radio station.
Huh? Now that you've accomplished everything that you have accomplished, and the world is watching you pretty much now and everything, what is an advice that you have for those who are trying to reach their goals?
That the journey is long and that it is a lot and that there will be many times where you want to just give up and just be like, what the fuck have I done? And I do that all the time in the morning too. Like, what have I done? But if you just kind of focus on your vision and doing the work and getting it done, everything will work out. And like I said, I think I was telling you before, my friend had to TED Talk me in a text message. And she was just like, don't worry about the money, because the money is a big thing.
Yeah.
Money is a huge thing because you want to do so many things, but to do things costs a lot of money. So she was just like, the money will come. Stop worrying about it. As long as you do the work, as long as you put in your time, the money will come. Money comes in abundance. And when you find it, it will always continue to come. So just, do your work, make your business work, and you'll get the money to do other things, and you can expand it. It will grow. It will be beautiful. So my advice would just be, just keep on doing it. You'll get there. It's hard. It is very hard, but surround yourself with like-minded people as well. People that are going through the process, people that have been through the process, people that are one step above you, people who only have a year in, people who have 5 years in. And get yourself some good older people in your pocket too, who have experience beyond what you can possibly think of, that will give you different scenarios to make sure that you are doing a good job. So,
And for me, it's people around you who have a strong backbone.
Yes. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is very huge. That the people that could stand up to you.
Yeah.
And be like, no, that's
no
dumb.
Yes men. No yes men.
That is really dumb.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And then sometimes I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I won't. Thank you very much. You're rude.
Exactly.
But it makes sense because you don't want to be out here looking crazy.
Exactly.
Before I make any big decision, I go and talk to a couple of people. Just be like, what do you think? Ultimately, it's still my decision. But if I have different angles, then I know what
you might not
to do.
see an angle.
Yeah.
That somebody else sees.
Exactly.
You're not going to see every point. So definitely need numerous eyes for that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Danielle.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know what I'm saying? This has been awesome. Even with all the technical difficulties. This was fun, though. It was fun.
You got to get real cute with this one.
Shit. This is a lot today. But everybody, Danielle Johnson, CEO and owner of SparkFM Radio, Urban and Caribbean Music.
Yes.
Coming soon.
Woohoo!
Check y'all out. We're going to holler at y'all. Deuces.
Blah.